Good day to everyone. I'm so inspired to have this opportunity to share with you my presentation at Tomorrow's People conference in Bangkok in March 2013. I am Tibor Nagy, a postgraduate student on the MBA course at Milpark Business School in Johannesburg in South Africa. And I will be taking you through the journey of my research on blended learning from the student's point of view. My first personal experience with blended learning was on the 6th birthday party of my son, few years ago. Let me share with you a little story. So we hired a huge yellow, red and blue jumping castle for the party. The kids' ovation of joy suddenly stopped after about 2 hours when my son walked into the room complaining that the castle was cut by an accident and it is now deflating. His mother gave him a lecture and ordered to fix the damage. I enjoyed the quietness for about an hour when the cheering restarted. The kids fixed the castle. As I found out later, my daughter consulted how to on the internet. They found ducting tape in the garage and they covered the cut. Ladies and gentlemen, please take note that the children's act was an outcome of blended learning. What do we mean by blended learning in academic terms? The easiest way to picture this model is to take the traditional face-to-face in-class teaching model, add the benefit of online components. The elements of two forms a blend. I would like to introduce a third very important element, which is in small group workings. Universities based their teaching practices on these principles worldwide in the last decade. Some of them brought their practices to South Africa, emphasizing and advertising the wonderful results they achieved. However, the two-way finger-pointing and blaming started when those promised results were not repeated. The simple copy and paste practice failed. My research revealed that most of the blend elements were well accepted by our students, similarly to those at the origin of new teaching practices. But the acceptance of some other elements differed. Consequently, the final outcome in students' academic engagement and achievement become different. You will gain insights in the reasons in this discussion. Learn to select the teaching elements effectively and achieve higher results with less effort. Use the experience at your institution. Your students will get higher marks and your institute better reputation. My research intends to answer the question of how can the intensity of students' face-to-face and online interactions positively influence their academic engagement and achievement. Let's see the research findings. And those revealed that the preference was given to face-to-face learning method. The majority of interviewed students felt that the slides and video materials enhanced the learning session. The more live-like presentations were found to be more thought-provoking. Questions were easily raised, and the students better understood the bigger picture. The majority of participants regularly exchange study material online where email was the preferred practice. Students highlighted the importance of group-based mini-blogs as they encourage dialogues and meaningful conversation. The highly structured and goal-orientated group activities found to be the most effective way to grasp the essence of the topic and to produce well-structured assignments. The motivational aspect of group workings were found to be highly effective, as it was the most preferred method of most of the students. Blended learning facilitated motivation and confidence building in face-to-face and online interactions with the instructor and fellow students. Almost every student was satisfied with his or her improved writing, communication, and online skills. More than 1/3 of the participants realized that they become better equipped to deal with challenges within their private and work environment. These findings strongly suggested that the face-to-face discussion is the best way to share and transfer knowledge. These findings are in accordance with the views expressed by Ulla and Wilson. The students had meaningful discussions which created different point of views, assisting them to observe the problem more holistically. These findings are consistent with the theory of Cleveland, Imes, and Eames. Additionally, the research findings highlighted the importance of videos and slides to enhance cognition. In parallel to that, the findings highlighted that information communication technology plays a critical role in disseminating, sharing, and transferring knowledge, which is consistent with the views of Sanger. Most students easily sourced and shared additional study material from online sources. Their preference was given to tablets over the PC. These views were expressed by Molequa's research conducted at Monash University in Johannesburg. It was also found that fully online classes are not the best solution for some students in the higher educational environment as a result of skill and knowledge in utilizing online tools, which are consistent with views of Twigg. The research findings also indicated that the most appropriate tool to integrate online and face-to-face learning will ensure that information is shared and transferred into new knowledge, which is consistent with the views again of. One of the main roles of information communication technology in blended learning method is to accelerate knowledge creation, sharing, and transfer, which is inconsistent with the theory of Cleveland, Imes, and Eames. The use of electronic chat rooms and search for relevant literature to support online discussions were in line with the views of Vanderwall and Zakaria. Cooperative learning groups worked more effectively when clearly defined goals and motivational structure was in place. These findings are consistent with the findings of Slavin and Johnson, Johnson and Smith. The impact of collaborative learning on students was found to be threefold. Firstly, it enhanced the quality of learning. Secondly, it changed the students' inner resistance to be more open, receptive, and accommodative towards each other. And thirdly, it changed the students' actions towards the other group members so much that even the highest perceived social barrier that of race, cease to have any effect. This supports the views expressed by Nonaka and Takeuchi that collaborative work is the process that transfers tacit knowledge through direct interactions with other people. The practical outcome of the blended learning method reaches far beyond the sphere of the course by providing solid foundation to deal with personal and work-related matters on much higher level and more successfully. To substantiate the research findings and the discussion, I need to highlight some of the comprehensive material studied. From those, I would like to mention Ulla and Wilson, whose theory indicated the importance of face-to-face interactions between the students and instructors. The positive outcome of these dialogues represented by Cleveland, Imes, and Eames. The intensive usage of electronic chat rooms and online discussions, highlighted by Wonderwall and Zakaria. The benefit of use of technology, pointed out by Sanger. The different approaches of digital strangers and digital natives to learning, discussed by Czernoewicz and Brown. The benefit of highly structured group workings, represented by Slavin and Johnson, Johnson and Smith. The views of Nonaka and Takeuchi on transfer of tacit knowledge. I choose a qualitative research method as it is more appealing to examine students' perception about blended teaching model. To achieve this, 7 strategic themes were clarified, containing altogether 34 questions. I chose structured interviews with open-ended questions as a research method. The interviews were voice recorded and thereafter transcribed into a written form. The research results were analyzed and interpreted using thematic analysis. Data triangulation was used to authenticate the reliability and valuability of the research project. The research design and ethical considerations were approved by the university's research panel. This research has its limitations and shortcomings. Consequently, I suggest further studies, including a larger population of students, instructors, and institutions. If we would follow the scientific research guidelines and act practically, we would be able to turn around the teaching model within 5 semesters. By the end of 2016 academic year, you would have outstanding results. Let me show you what I mean on a practical example. If we would spend the first semester researching learners' requirements and preferences, as well as identifying the blended learning elements, spend the second semester on course designs for instructors and for students, run those courses in the following semester. Thereafter, test run the teaching model for a year. And the following year will be spent on full implementation of new teaching practices. So I'm looking forward to seeing you back here in March 2017 to listen to your discussion how you turn around your university to a world-class institution. Have you noticed that one of the recommendations is still missing, and that is the most important one? That is about fun, ladies and gentlemen. Using tablets, the quizzes, the group work is fun. Please make sure that fun underlines all your learning and teaching activities. To conclude, the research revealed that students' academic engagement and achievement is strongly influenced by the intensity of the interaction with the instructor, fellow students, and the blended instructional model. Higher results are achievable when these elements are carefully chosen to meet learners' preferences and at the same time content interaction requirements. Thank you for your attention and for being with me on this journey in the spheres of blended learning.